Hello, everyone. This is Angie Johnsey, and welcome to the Half a Mind podcast. If your mind is messy, let's tidy it up. Today, we are on episode 6. What's the problem now? Do you have a suspicious mind who is always on the lookout for problems? And if a problem can't be found, it will create one. Well, here is help for you. There are 3 mind categories. We've got the never satisfieds out there. We've got the problem finders, which is what we're talking about today. And then we have the trust issue people. So if you're in the problem finder category, you will know it soon because you will resonate with what I'm about to tell you here in this podcast. A problem finding mind is an exhausting mind to have if it has bad habits. It can be exhausting if it doesn't have bad habits, but especially if it has bad habits. It never stops. In its functional state, it's an amazing analyzer and problem solver. In its dysfunctional state, it will focus on unsolvable problems, such as people or situations that are out of its control, and then it begins to race. It becomes bitchy and very critical. So let's look at the passive side of this mind and the aggressive side of this mind. The passive side, I like to use the analogy of the tidy mind house with this type of mind. That helps the person visualize exactly what their mind is doing. And if we can see it and if we can understand it, we can do something about it. So this mind feels that it can't relax until it has the answer or solution. And if it can't find one, then it begins to race. But when it is zoned in on something that doesn't have an answer or a solution, it becomes neurotic, obsessive, racing, out of control, running around faster and faster around the mind house trying to fix it. Then it realizes this is making it really feel bad, so then it runs around even more trying to fix itself. So you can see how this cycle begins. It's trying to figure out a solution. It's trying to make things better, but it's only creating a mess for itself because it's focused in on a problem that doesn't have a solution, so therefore it's never going to relax. There is no end point for this kind of mind. So this is a hamster wheel. And if you have this kind of mind, you know what this feels like for your mind to be on a hamster wheel. So this is the passive side of the mind. The worrying or trying to figure it out and fix it causes the anxiety, which is the result of the mind running nonstop, creating excessive mental energy, which then is felt by the body, and that's what we call anxiety. So the trying to fix it, that is the worry, and then the worry, the more you try to fix it, the faster your mind begins to spin on this and won't leave it alone, won't relax about it, won't let it go. Then anxiety starts to build in your body. It's just too much. It's shorting itself out. This type of mind is easily wound up. It goes from problem solution, and it makes me exhausted just thinking about it because this is my mind. I fall in the problem finders category. I'm not. That's not the only bad habits my mind had. I think I had every bad habit that there is. I fell in all 3 categories. So if you are like me and you're like, oh, I resonate with this one and that one, you can resonate more than in one of these categories. But this will probably be your center point, and then you can have bad habits that fall in the other categories as well. So the aggressive side, this mind habit can also take on a suspicious nature. And if it also resonates with the trust issues mind habit category, watch out. This combination can be extremely destructive. This mind is very rushed, very urgent and pushy. This is a mind habit that I'm still working with my mind on, but it's getting better because I'm recognizing it when it's happened. It will push you into decisions out of a sense of urgency or desperation, when if you could stop and look at the facts of reality, it's not necessary. This urgency only exists inside your mind. Do it now. Don't make anybody wait on you. Just slop it together and throw it out there. Get it out there. Hurry. So to this mind, everything feels like life or death. And it's not real. This is a mind habit. Your mind has got into this habit of everything being super urgent, have to get it done now, have to make productivity, whatever it is. Because we do, when we fall in this category, we we are good at physical tasks and making things quickly. And so I think that that's got a lot to do with this mind habit that we all fall into. Because this mind thinks so fast, it can be very critical of those who don't. It can make them, even if you're not saying you're stupid. That is so stupid. Even if you're not saying the words, people can feel that coming from you because you're not patient with them, you're in a rush, and yeah, they can feel like that you think that they're dumb. And you might actually think that because your mind does think much faster than some other minds. It can also turn that criticism inward and really develop some negative self-talk that destroys your confidence and trust in yourself. It is destructive because this mind likes to warn others. Now, this is a big one here. If it thinks someone is bad or is mistreating, using, or abusing other people, it will tell the others. Not because it's not trying to start trouble. In its mind, that is not its intention. It speaks up out of fear, and in its mind, it is protecting people. So it's not thinking about the person is bad-mouthing. It's thinking about the people it's telling and warning them to get away from this person. However, this mind is reactive, and it jumps to conclusions, and it makes assumptions, and then it decides it is a fact. And it's usually not a fact. This type of mind rarely stops long enough to determine if something is actually a fact or can be proved. This mind starts protests and movements. I think we're called the activators because we are those activists out there that we start stuff. This mind is passionate and fuels the passion or the pain of others. It can go either way. We want to be feeling the passion out there and not the pain, but many times if we're in pain, we tend to feel that pain in other people. If functional, it can be an inspiration and very motivational. This is the cheerleaders of the world. It knows how to stir the emotions of others in such a way that makes them feel passionate about something too. This mind is extremely empathic. If you don't know what empathic means, it just means that you can actually feel what another person is feeling, like just instinctively, intuitively. You just can be around that person and you can immediately begin resonating with their emotional body. So this mind is extremely empathic. This makes this type of mind great at sales or helping other people. If they really, really like something, they're so relatable and they tell everybody about what they found. They love to share the good things they found. And they also like to share the negative things they have found. The filter and the thought process of, hey, what kind of damage would this do if I actually just blab it out right now without thinking it through? It's not there. It's absent. Don't have one. This mind does not have, first it doesn't have a pause button, and then it doesn't have a filter button, and that is a very dangerous combination. A thought is in their head 1 second, and then out of their mouth the next second. Everything moves really, really fast for this mind. And in other words, if you've got this mind and you're resonating, you put your foot in your mouth a lot, and you don't mean it, and you don't mean it in a bad way, and you're not trying to hurt the person. It just comes out like that, and you end up getting in a lot of trouble. This type of mind also works for reward, usually in the form of praise and recognition, meaning it wants and needs a reward, and instant gratification is always preferred. It doesn't want to have to wait. It's not very good at long projects and having to work for years and years and years and never get it. Like, it would lose interest. It would lose interest very quickly if it had to constantly, wait on rewards. It likes to get rewarded all along the way. It likes short projects that can be admired and praised quickly. If you have this type of mind, people either really love you or they really hate you. It can go either way. This mind can get you in trouble and make you say and do things that hurt yourself and others in the process. Those with this mind learn they have to fake nice because it's unacceptable if they actually say what they think. And it's exhausting. It's exhausting when you just have to, what the person wants to hear. that's not natural to you to just tell people what they want to hear. You just want to say what you actually think. But you learn really quick in society that you can't just actually say what you think. You have to wrap it up in a nice package. You have to get smart with your delivery. So this doesn't, with an activator or connector mind, this problem finding mind, that's not a natural thing. It blurts. It blurts and it just comes out, and so they have to learn social niceties instead of it being safe for them to just authentically be themselves. I have a friend that tells me all the time, the world is just not ready for you guys. The world cannot handle you quite yet. And, I guess it's true. But the more we start to learn about the different minds and learn the different tendencies and learn that, it doesn't make this kind of mind wrong. Yes, there are some bad habits that I'm mentioning in here that we can work on, but there are some things that just come naturally to you because of genetics. And when we start to understand each other in this way, and that we're all different, and we experience the world different, and our minds deliver things in a different way, we can start to not take it personal. This mind knows what it likes and what it doesn't, and it's not afraid to tell you if it doesn't like what's in front of it. It will complain, and it can be very picky, or what we call picky, but it just knows what it likes. So this mind is the first to get medicated for ADHD. These are the kids in school that they're not focusing, or they're not sitting still. And let me tell you, if they're not focusing, it's not because they have focus issues. They're not interested in what you're telling them. If it's not an interest, if it's not in their very thin path of alignment that they are interested, forget it. They're not going to care. They're not going to care enough to focus, so their mind will daydream. It will pick a topic that is more interesting, more exciting. If it's a boring topic to them, forget about it. If it's something that they're incredibly interested in and want to know more about, they will become the expert in it. They will not stop until they have every little aspect of it figured out, analyzed, processed, and solved. If it's interesting, the focus is there. If it is boring, it's not a focus issue. It's boring. This mind needs something that is very interesting and very stimulating before it will give it the time of day. But we get medicated for attention deficit disorder. We just don't find everything everybody else finds. If we don't find it interesting, we're not going to waste our time learning about it. We don't care. We actually don't. We want to use our mental energy to zone in on something that is in our direct line of interest, and then we will know it inside and out, and you won't have to force us to do it. You won't have to make us do it. We'll just do it, and you can't stop us from doing it. We're like, we've got our line of sight lined up, and forget about distracting us from that focus. We are in it to win it. So that's just a little something. If you've got a child that is falls in this category, and you can take the health type test. There's a parenting course. You can find out the category that your child falls in. Please find that out. Please, please, please. And if you've got an activator or connector child, please stop making them try to learn things that are not interesting to them just because you think that they should know it. Just help them they'll find it themselves. Notice where they're driven. Notice what direction they're wanting to go and support them in that direction. Give them more content on that, and they will love it, and focus will not be an issue. Because it thinks so fast, because this mind thinks so fast and so much, it's the first to become diagnosed with some disorder and to be medicated. I'm not going to go off on this because this audio would be an hour long, but there are some people out there, clients of mine, that I would love to just go to their house and rescue them from the people that are surrounding them that don't understand them, because they never sit still, or they don't act the way they think they're supposed to act. They don't understand them at all. So they medicate them to become more like who they think they should be. And I talk about getting passionate. That makes me very passionate. I am not against medication for actual mental disorders. I'm not against that. If you've actually got a chemical imbalance that puts you at a danger to yourself or to other people, absolutely. Like if that's the help that you need, I have nothing against that whatsoever. But we're medicating things because we don't approve or understand the person. And that really works me up. So, anyway. This mind can get into a big complaining habit, especially if it's on the more aggressive side. We complain and we're picky and bitchy and because we know what we like and we know what we don't, and a lot of people don't like that about us. They don't like that we are so definite about our direction. Are you resonating? If you are resonating with this mind, you probably fall in the health type category of activator or connector, meaning you're probably not very tall and have more of a lean, curvy hourglass shape or a fuller, curvy hourglass shape. I myself, I'm 5'3", I'm an activator, and I've done all of the above. Crusaders and guardians may also resonate with a few of these habits. This mind can be a gift to society when it's functional and not exhibiting bad habits. And this mind can also be society's worst nightmare if exhibiting the aggressive side of these mind habits. If you're living with someone with this kind of mind, please don't point out their negative behavior in any way unless you have a death wish. They are aware of it, trust me. They live with it going on inside of them every single day. They just don't know how to ease the pain of their mind. And if their mind's telling assumption stories to them, they have just become lost in the story. They're believing everything their mind is saying is true, which just adds to their pain. So please don't medicate them because you think they should sit still more. Support them by understanding them. Give them a safe space to begin to understand themselves. What is the fix? Passive side. These are the worriers and the anxiety side of this mind. Close your eyes. See your mind running around inside your mind house, like frantic, trying to fix something or trying to figure something out. See yourself as separate from this mind as a caretaker, like the mom of this mind or the dad of this mind or whatever you want to see, but the loving, calm presence. Go to the mind and hold it, like actually pull that part that you see running around your mind house. Usually you guys are pretty good at this. You're very visual thinkers. Pull it into you, have it sit in your lap and say, it's okay. You don't have to fix this or figure this out right now. It's okay. Take a breath. There's no rush. It's okay. You may have to do this for a few minutes. You may have to see yourself actually hold it, and you might see it struggle and like, no, I have to. This is an emergency. Everything's an emergency. Everything's a big deal. Everything's life or death. Everything's going to fall apart tomorrow. It's just has that tendency. So if you can hold it and say, it's okay. Oh my goodness, it's okay. It's still going to be there tomorrow. Nobody's putting urgency on this but you. You're the only one who thinks this has to be done now. Just you. You're afraid of something. I get that. And we'll work that out later. But right now, please just relax and sit with me. It's okay. We're going to figure this out together. So after you do that for a little bit, the energy will start to calm down and slow down. The aggressive side. Awareness of what your mind is doing is the first step. Realize you have the power to create or destroy, and it's a big responsibility. Begin using it wisely. Don't hurt other people with this powerful mind, and don't hurt yourself. Start a new habit of pausing before speaking or acting. Then do a fact check and a consequence check. This will help break the aggressive habit. If it is constantly criticizing you, or you resonate more with the aggressive side, meaning, yeah, you worry and you're anxious sometimes, but more so you're being pushy. Your mind is pushing you, and your mind is urging you to do something now, and you're suspicious, and you're looking out and afraid someone's going to get you. They're out to get you, or they're out to get others. Your mind is in pain and fear. If you're resonating more with this aggressive side of things, your mind is hurting. It's in pain and fear. And you need to help it release and express this pain. And you can start that with the Learn to Tidy and Relax Your Mind course today. I encourage you to do that. It will give you 30 lessons, and you can take your time with it. I know if you're this mind, you'll have it done in 3 days. Don't do that to yourself. It's okay. You can take your time, really let it sink in, and learn how to care for this kind of mind and relieve the pain that you hold inside. You hold a lot of pain in there. You hold a lot of pain of being rejected. You hold a lot of pain of not being wanted around. Like, people, you're a lot. This kind of mind is a lot for people. And like I said, they either love you or they hate you. So rejection, we're no stranger to it. And there's a lot of pain of that rejection held within you. So I encourage you to really get in there and release that pain of the past, and get to know this mind, get to know its tendencies, and learn how to care for it. And now our next episode coming up is for all of you never satisfied categories out there. Are you being mistreated? Do you stay or do you go? Let's define mistreated. It is possible that your mind is just not being made to feel how it wants and expects to feel. So this is something to think about, and I'm going to be defining actual mistreatment for you in this episode. And thank you so much for listening, and I will see you next time.